Be prepared. Otherwise, when the graces are given to you, when you are welcomed, you may not be ready to enter in. Then you will have to wait outside. Dearly beloved in Jesus Christ, welcome to today's Gospel Reflection with Father Anand. Today, 20th August 2026, Thursday in the 20th week of the Ordinary Time. The Mother Church celebrates the memorial of Abbot and Dr. Bernard Clairvaux. The Gospel is taken from Gospel of Matthew, chapter 22, verses 1 to 14. At the time, again Jesus spoke to the chief priests and the elders of the people in parables, saying, "The kingdom of heaven may be compared to a king who gave a wedding feast for his son, and sent his servants to call those who were invited to the wedding feast. But they would not come. Again he sent other servants, saying, 'Tell those who are invited, see, I have prepared my dinner. My oxen and my fat calves have been slaughtered, and everything is ready. Come to the wedding feast.' But they paid no attention, and went off, one to his farm, another to his business, while the rest seized his servants, treated them shamefully, and killed them. The king was angry, and he sent his troops and destroyed those murderers and burned their city. Then he said to his servants, 'The wedding feast is ready, but those who invited were not worthy. Go therefore to the main roads and invite to the wedding feast as many as you find.' And those servants went out into the roads, gathered all whom they found, both bad and good. So the wedding hall was filled with guests. But when the king came in to look at the guests, he saw there a man who had no wedding garment. And he said to him, 'Friend, how did you get in here without a wedding garment?' And he was speechless. Then the king said to the attendants, 'Bind him hand and foot and cast him into outer darkness. In that place there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. For many are called, but few are chosen.'" The Gospel of the Lord. Dearly beloved in Jesus Christ, today the Holy Mother Church celebrates and remembers Saint Bernard of Clairvaux. He was a man who loved Scripture and who lived for Christ. He was not a martyr. He did not suffer. He had all the possible good things that a man can have, but still he became a saint. This shows that we can become a friend of God even with all the possible good things that the world offers, provided you know the priority. Saint Bernard enjoyed his youthfulness, enjoyed his childhood, enjoyed even as a priest. But he kept his priority as Scripture and love of God. He founded as many as 164 monasteries, and he was abbot of a monastery, Cistercian monastery at Clairvaux. He worked almost 34 years in the same monastery. During his time, he converted so many people to his teaching, his writings, and his sermons. The brothers and sisters who still follow the rule and life of Cistercian order are imbibing the qualities of Saint Bernard. Let's try to imbibe some of the qualities. We understand how we can even become friends of God with all the good things that world and life offers. The Gospel speaks about the wedding feast, where the nature of God or the nature of kingdom of heaven is presented to us. The parable, in simple terms, God calls everyone into the wedding hall, and then he finds someone without a wedding garment, and he casts him out of the wedding hall. There he will suffer. Now tell me what mistake the man has done. He was not the invitee. He was not invited, But he was given a free invitation later and then he was brought in. He himself did not come. But still, he was brought in and then he was punished. He was punished for not being ready for the offer that was given to him. Let me tell you one small story. There was a monk who had been meditating for the vision of God, or he was meditating that God can descend and come to him. So he meditated years and years, and finally God appears in front of him. When God appears in front of him, God asks, "I'm pleased with your prayer and meditation. Now ask me what you want." And then the monk started scratching his head, thinking, what should I ask? Then God said, "I think you need a big nail to scratch." He offered him nail and went away. What made him to lose the reward? He was not ready and he didn't know why he was meditating all those years. So the readiness is that which brings us always good results. Be it be practical life, be it be spiritual life, be it be vocation, or whatever it is. When you're ready for your future, ready for the spiritual gifts, and that will be poured into you. The man was brought into the wedding hall and then he was not ready. That's why he was thrown out. In our spiritual journey too, when God gives us offerings, when God gives us chances, when God sends us blessings, our heart and soul must be ready to receive them. Otherwise, we will not get that benefits. And for this readiness, we have to keep ourselves always in the presence of God. That's why spiritual journey is every day's work. We can never say, okay, let me do it when I become old. Let me have my spiritual path when I am on the sick bed. Or let me think about God during my last days. That's why be prepared every time, and we will not come to the fate of the man who was thrown out of the wedding feast. So dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, from today's liturgy of the word, let's take two lessons. First lesson from the life of Bernard. Bernard teaches us, even though you use the worldly things, still you can be friend of God. Secondly, let's be ready so that whenever the graces fall into our lap, we receive them fully. May God bless us all. Have a blessed day ahead.